Good evening and welcome to the April 22nd, 2024 meeting of the Frankfort Village Board. We'll call this meeting to order and we ask our clerk, Katie Schubert, to take the roll, please.
Mayor Ogle?
Here.
Trustee Borelli?
Here.
Trustee Ledden?
Here.
Trustee Petro is absent. Trustee Rigoni? Here. Trustee Rossi?
Here.
Trustee Savaria?
Here.
Attorney Lamore?
Present.
Chief Chalepis?
Here.
Administrator Pisha?
Here.
Assistant Administrator Barica?
Present.
And Clerk Schubert. We have quorum.
All right, thank you, clerk. Well, our next item of business here is for us to please stand and we'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, we have some special guests in the house tonight, and it is our genuine pleasure of this village board to recognize the Hickory Creek Middle School girls JV volleyball team for their outstanding achievement in winning the 2024 Illinois Elementary School Association Class 7-4A state tournament. Pretty impressive. The victory marks the inaugural state championship in volleyball for the Tigers in the history of girls volleyball competitions at the school. This talented team of 6th and 7th graders capped off a perfect undefeated season, boasting an impressive record of 27-0. The village takes great pride in celebrating the achievements of our youth and acknowledging the significance of their accomplishments. We commend their dedication, sportsmanship, and unwavering pursuit of excellence, which serves as an inspiration to this entire community. To celebrate this extraordinary accomplishment, I entertain a motion from the floor to approve a proclamation recognizing this achievement.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
We have a motion by Trustee Borelli, a second by Trustee Rigoni. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
This is approved. So we have a proclamation plaque for you. We'd like to have you come up to the front of the dais and we'll present the plaque to you. And you also have your trophy, which the audience would like to see. And if the trustees would like to join me down there as well. Even better.
This is our captain, Stephen.
Annie, she's our outside. Kenzie is also an outside. Audrey is the middle. Ashley is our libero. Claire is the middle. Emma's an outside. Claire is a right. Kate is our back row player. Jayla is our outside, and Allison is the middle.
Well, here's our proclamation presented to your coach here. And again, we're very, very proud of you. Also want to thank the superintendent, Doug Burnett, Tricia Dotson, and your entire 157C school board, but also, your parents. You have to thank them as well, because they're the ones who drive you back and forth. They're in it as much as you are, and we're very, very proud of you, and you set a great example for the rest of the community, and we're just looking forward. Hickory Creek is becoming a dynasty, and it seems like there's a championship almost every month, too. So we'll take another quick photo, and I want to congratulate all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Such a nice photo. Congratulations. Congratulations. All right, thank you, ladies. Thank you. I think that's one of the favorite things for our entire board is to recognize these accomplishments and just what an amazing community we live in, and that we're really blessed and have some great young people coming up that is our future. Our next item on here, to get back to village business, is what's called the unanimous consent agenda. All items on this consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and are enacted in one single motion. There's no separate discussion of these items unless a board member so requests, in which event that item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be considered separately. At this time, I ask if any board members would like to remove any items from the consent agenda. Hearing none, can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, trustee Savaria, and a second from trustee Letton. We'll go through these items that are here so that those who are in the audience, as well as those who might be watching later, either on the YouTube channel or on the village board website, knows what your village board is voting on. We had the approval of the minutes from the regular meeting, April 8th, 2024. And then we have the approval of the bills, and we will go to trustee Savaria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Actually, the bills are pretty light this month, totaling $337,360.11. I didn't really see anything of interest to really call, but the general corporate fund was $155,582.82. Capital development fund was $32,960.06. Sewer and water operation and maintenance was $106,429.69. And sewer and water extension fund was $42,387.54. That's the bills.
Great, thank you, trustee Savaria. Next item on here is probably one of the most important things that we do all year, and we work to craft this starting in the winter with staff to come up with the needs and the direction, and then we bring this to our trustees and meet with our finance director and work this out for our initiatives and priorities. And we'll go to trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. Fiscal year 2025 budget approval. The Village of Frankfort's proposal fiscal year 2025 budget was presented to the Committee of the Whole on April 10th, 2024 for review and consideration. The fiscal year 2025 budget, including all funds, is comprised of a proposed grand total of $42,185,700 in budgeted revenues, with $62,213,300 in expenditures. Some notable capital expenditures outlined in the proposed fiscal year 2025 budget are as follows: $10 million designated for the street resurfacing program, construction of a new storage building at 2 Smith Street, lighting and safety enhancements, procurements of vehicles and equipment including a self-propelled leaf vac, allocation of economic development incentives, improvements in water and sewer infrastructure, and the finalization of constructions of projects like Elsner Well and Water Tower Treatment Plant, Fiper Road Extension Project, St. Francis Road Resurfacing Project, downtown parking lots at 2 Smith Street and 1119 White Street, and the Prairie Park Playground Rehabilitation Project. The village's fiscal year of 2025 budget continues its tradition of prudent fiscal financial management while upholding its steadfast commitment to delivering exceptional services. The full budget document is available for public view on the village website. It was the consensus of the committee to recommend the village board approve the fiscal year 2025 budget. The motion before us is to accept the recommendation of the Committee of the Whole and approve the Village of Frankfort's fiscal year 2025 budget.
Thank you, trustee Rigoni. The next item on here, we'll go to a plan commission item, and we'll go to trustee Borelli.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the Duncan Commercial Multi-Tenant Building at 2400 20400 South LaGrange Road. The applicant, Coro Group, representing property owner Frankfort LaGrange Property LLC, has filed an application requesting 4 special use permits. 1 is a special use permit for a carry-out restaurant. 2 is a special use permit for drive-up service windows. 3 is a special use permit for outdoor seating, and 4 is a special use permit for extended hours of operation, opening at 4 a.m. for the Dunkin' restaurant proposed for the undeveloped property known as Lot 2 in the Powell re-subdivision located on the east side of LaGrange Road, south of St. Francis Road. In conjunction with the requested special uses, the applicant desires to develop an approximately 8,625 square foot commercial multi-tenant building on the property. The proposed building would include 5 tenant spaces. The northern tenant space would include a 2,180 square foot Dunkin' restaurant. The other 4 tenants have not been disclosed at this time. To accommodate the proposed commercial multi-tenant building, the applicant requests the granting of the 4 special use permits and a sign variance to allow a freestanding sign to exceed the maximum permitted area of 15 square feet for a building less than 9,999 square feet, to allow 37.5 square foot freestanding sign. The January 25th, 2024 public hearing on the project, the Plan Commission forwarded 5 unanimous recommendations to the Village Board to approve the special use and sign variance request. The motions before us tonight are to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting 4 special use permits for a carry-out restaurant, drive-up service windows, outdoor seating, and extended hours of operations, opening at 4 a.m. For Dunkin', proposed for the undeveloped property located at 20400 South LaGrange Road in accordance with reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact, subject to final engineering approval. Second motion before us tonight is to accept the Plan Commission recommendation, waive the first and second readings, and pass an ordinance granting a sign variance to permit a freestanding sign to exceed the maximum permitted area of 15 square feet to allow 37.5 square feet for the Dunkin' commercial multi-tenant building proposed for the undeveloped property located at 20400 South LaGrange Road in accordance with the reviewed plans, public testimony, and findings of fact.
Thank you, Trustee Burley. Now we have a traffic code enforcement or ordinance amendment, and we'll go to Trustee Ledden.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this item is the traffic code ordinance amendment, parking restrictions for the country market. Staff presents an amendment to the village's code of ordinances to include the 2 Smith Street parking lot as part of the prohibited parking zone reserved for vendors when the country market is in session for village board consideration and approval. Parking would be restricted without a country market sticker or market supervisor's approval during the hours of 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays for the period April through October. The motion before us this evening is to waive the first and second readings and pass an ordinance amending the Village of Frankfort's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 72, Parking Regulations, Section 72.06, restricting the parking of vehicles during the Frankfort Country Market season, April through October. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Ledden. Those are the items that are on the consent agenda. At this point, we will go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Clerk. The next item that is on the agenda is what's called the Mayor's Report, and actually we have quite a few items on this one tonight. The first one is we have a resolution for a waiver of fees for Frankfort military personnel who are on active duty. And as a sign of support for our residents serving in the military and their families, the village board deems it appropriate and fitting to extend the temporary waiver of sewer and water fees to qualified residents or utility customers of the village of Frankfort who are on deployment for a minimum of 6 months duration. Once approved, the waiver of fees shall remain in effect for a period of 6 months, after which time, if the qualifying resident remains on active duty, the waiver may be renewed upon completion and submittal of another application and updated military documentation. The motion we'll be looking for is to adopt a resolution authorizing the waiver of water and sewer fees for a period of 6 months for Village of Frankfort military personnel service on active duty in the Armed Forces of the United States. Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have Trustee Borelli and Trustee Rossi with the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right. Any opposed or abstain? All right, that motion carries, the resolution. The next item on here is, do we need a roll call on that, clerk? Okay, all right. Please go ahead.
Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. The next item on here are committee appointments for the fiscal year 2024, 2025. We have several of the advisory committee members that their terms were expiring in May. I personally reached out to all of these members on these committees, and they expressed their desire to continue serving in their respective roles and have formally requested reappointment. I think they've done an exceptional job, and certainly the plan commissioners, they put in a lot of hours. We have a couple people that served on the plan commission, and some of their meetings, I'm glad that I'm sitting up here in the dais instead. But the motion before us, and this is with the advice and consent of the trustees, I ask for a motion to approve the appointments that were in your packet.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. We'll go to our clerk again for the roll call. No? This is,
We can. I was gonna say, we can if you want to, but
For
I
this-
think because it doesn't involve funds, I think we can do this
Okay.
as a
no?
voice vote.
We can do a voice vote then. All right. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? Okay. Then we have a historic preservation proclamation. The month of May has been designated as Historic Preservation Month since 1973. The Village of Frankfort has a long tradition of protecting and enhancing its historic heritage and recognizes that a significant aspect contributing to its character and sense of community is its rich history. I entertain a motion for the floor to proclaim May 2024 as Historic Preservation Month in the Village of Frankfort.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstain? All right, motion carries. We kick off this Historic Preservation Month with an informal open house on Wednesday, May 1st, from 5:30 to 7 o'clock regarding the Historic Buildings Survey that was recently completed by McGuire, Igelski and Associates, Inc. These results will serve as a resource for our community, offering insights into the rich history and historic properties within the village. You can also visit our website, frankfortil.org, for more details. We have a special thank you for all the volunteers who came out and celebrated Earth Day with us on Saturday, April 20th, by helping to clean up the village. They were out on roads and streets and their neighborhoods, picking up garbage and making this village look beautiful. Awards were given out to the largest group, the most unusual item found, and the volunteer who got dirtiest, and I think it was Finn. And he also got a Hot Wheels Earth Day car that he immediately took out of the thing and was playing with. So again, we thank our residents. It's all of our responsibility to keep this community looking good and sustainable and into the future. In keeping with Earth Day, the Village of Frankfort has again been named a Tree City USA for its tree care program and adherence to the Tree City USA standards. The Tree City USA Foundation honors municipalities that work diligently to ensure a greener, healthier environment for its residents. And we also just recently completed a Name the Street Sweeper contest. We purchased or ordered a street sweeper 2 years ago, and just arrived a couple weeks ago. So we thought it needed a name other than just the Elgin Restorative Air Street Sweeper. Just didn't quite do it. So we had a camera crew from NBC came down once we announced it. Radio stations were calling, and there was a lot of interest in this. And we had more than 113 people that submitted names for potential. This really will help. We have 130 miles of road to maintain to help enhance the cleanliness and efficiency of what we do here in Frankfort. But after careful consideration, the judging panel chose Ben McGinn's name and his submission, which was Frank the Tank, as the official name for our new street sweeper. So the village extends its congratulations to Ben for the winning entry and thanks everyone who participated in the contest. Our 2024 country market kicked off yesterday, Sunday, April 21st, and will continue through October 27th from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock in downtown Frankfort. Two more quick items that I wanted to talk about very, very briefly here. One is this is the 45th year that Crisis Center of South Suburbia has been active, and they've helped more than 100,000 survivors of domestic violence. And very recently, someone that we know, a Frankfort mom with 2 children, was the victim of domestic violence by someone who was supposed to be a trusted counselor. And that's all for the mayor's report tonight. And we will go to board comments. Katie Schubert.
Thank you, Mayor Ogle. Just a reminder that our next board meeting will be Monday, May 6th at 7 p.m. here at Village Hall. And the next committee of the whole meeting is Wednesday, May 8th at 5:30. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Trustee Led.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to, again, congratulate the Hickory Creek School Middle School for winning the state championship. That's very exciting. Also, with regard to the budget, when you look at it and you see $42 million in revenue and $62 million in expenditures, there's a lot of years of planning that went into that, and it's really exciting to see these things come to fruition because there's a lot of exciting things going on in town that we should all be proud of. And I would like to thank everybody who had a hand in putting together that budget and all the planning that went into it ahead of time and all the execution that's going to happen throughout this year. And finally, I'd like to wish Trustee Savaria a happy belated birthday. Yesterday he turned 49, I believe you said.
Yep, that was it.
That's all I have.
Trustee Savari, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I, too, would like to echo Trustee Ledden's congratulations to the Hickory Creek Middle School girls on their volleyball championship. And I'd like to wish my son, Gino, who's turned 26 today, a happy birthday. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Rigoni.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple kind of repeats, but first I'd like to extend the thank you to all of the residents and village staff for the Earth Day celebration. It's always one of my favorite events, and it's so fun to see everybody at the end join us for pizza and hear the stories and see what they've collected and keeping Frankfort clean. Also like to congratulate the 6th and 7th grade volleyball team. It's always fun to have them here as well as seeing a lot of friendly faces out there. I'd like to give a thank you to the Public Works. They are very busy the last couple days replacing signs, street signs along Colorado Avenue west of 45. They're taking out the old ones and putting in the nice new metal clean ones, which are great because we can see them at night. So I appreciate that. They are swift, they are clean, they come in fast, and you would never know that they don't leave one bit of a mess behind. So I really greatly appreciate all their efforts on that. So thank you.
Trustee Burley.
Thank you, Mayor. I kind of like the old signs, but, you know, that's you can't see them at night, but, you know, I'm nostalgic for those old signs. I think they're cool. But I get it. Also want to congratulate the 7th grade volleyball team. I mean, that's a big deal. These state championships, they're divided. There's 3 classes. There's hundreds of schools you're competing against. To win a championship in anything at state, it's almost impossible. So the fact that we march kids here, you know, month after month is just incredible. So congratulations, girls. That's awesome. Also want to thank all the volunteers that participated in Earth Day. It makes a difference. I think you could tell what you drive around on Sunday, and you can see the impact of the residents, the number of people that are out that are cleaning up, and we all take a ton of pride in our aesthetics in our community. It makes a big difference. You don't have to travel far to see the difference between Frankfort and other towns, and what the way we take care of our lawns, the way we pick up after each other, and it makes a big difference. So thank you for all those that participated in that. And then a final thank you to the staff and, specifically Jenny Booth, who just does an incredible job with our finances. Putting together that budget is just a massive undertaking, and she makes it so easy for us to follow along, and so really appreciate that. That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Rossi.
Thank you, Mayor. First, happy belated birthday to Trustee Savaria, 49, that's very good.
I'm looking a little rough for 49, but
No, never. Second, congratulations to our Hickory Creek volleyball team, that's incredible, and a 27-0 record is pretty unheard of nowadays, that's great. Third, I just want to give a shout out to Lincoln Way East Theater Program. They produced and put on Phantom of the Opera on the 12th, 13th, and 14th. The production was incredible. The cast and the stage crew did a great job. It's interesting to hear comments from people saying it could have been on Broadway, it was that good. So congratulations to all of them.
All right, thank you, Trustee Rossi. Actually, I did have one item that I skipped over here in the mayor's report, and this is just sort of a follow-up on back in February. We received an invitation for Frankfort to be part of, which was one of the 16 cities across the United States that was selected to be part of the White House Challenge to end hunger and build healthier communities. The goal being to end hunger and reduce diet-related diseases by the year 2030. We were invited and ultimately selected partly because of what we've done with the National Forum for Heart Disease and Stroke Prevention and the Move with the Mayor initiative. And this is something that there's $8 billion of external private commitments. This isn't just a government program. They did ask us to keep it confidential until they had released it publicly when they did their, and 3 mayors of the 16 cities actually attended. We were all invited to attend. We paid our own way to go. But it wasn't the end of it. Actually, this is really just the beginning of it. This is really where the work begins, to make sure that we do these things. And there are some people that are part of that that may have some different ideas, but here we have a farmer's market. We have Will County, a farming community. There's good, nutritious food. There's a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of ways that we can model certain behaviors here that we're already doing. And again, Frankfort is blessed, and we have a community with a very big heart, and we're hoping to start to connect people together and put something together so that we can make sure nobody goes to bed hungry, and that people are staying healthy and they're not dying from things that they could modify in their diets. That'd be simple. So that is it then for the mayor's report tonight, and we'll ask if there's any other business to come before us from the board. Hearing none, the next item on here is public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment before the board tonight? Okay. Also hearing none, we are going to adjourn into executive session to discuss personnel and also litigation. Those are under 5 ILCS 120/2C1 and 5 ILCS 120/2C11. We will not be taking any action after we come back from executive session. We'll be adjourning the meeting, but we'll looking for a motion to go into executive session right now and a second.
so moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second, and we go to our clerk, Katie Schubert, for the vote.
Trustee Rossi?
Yes.
Trustee Savaria?
Yes.
Trustee Borelli?
Yes.
Trustee Ledden?
Yes.
And Trustee Rigoni?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. We'll be going to executive session. When we come out after that time, the board will be adjourning, and no other further action will be taken. Thank you.